How would the world look today if the outcomes of those ancient battles had been different? Some battles have decisively shaped the course of history, determining how the world would evolve. Had the other side emerged victorious in these conflicts, today's world could be vastly different. In today's episode of Culture Emissary, we delve into the epic battles that changed the course of history. Let's step onto the battlefield. Number 1. The Battle of Marathon. King Darius I of Persia was furious after the Greeks supported the Ionians in their revolt against Persian rule. In 490 before Common Era, Darius the Great sent over 20,000 soldiers to subdue the Greeks, a force much larger than the Greek army. Despite the overwhelming numerical advantage of the Persians, the Greeks achieved a stunning victory. They managed to slaughter over 6,000 Persians while suffering only around 200 casualties of their own. This huge win proved that the Greeks could hold their ground and remain independent rather than becoming another part of the Persian Empire. The Greek victory at Marathon was pivotal, as it allowed Greek ideas, culture, and innovations to flourish and spread around the world, leading to the rise of Greek civilization. Number 2. The Battle of Hastings. The historic Battle of Hastings took place on Senlac Hill, near Hastings, on October 14, 1066. It all began with the death of Edward the Confessor. After his death, Harold Godwinson was crowned King of England. However, Edward had previously promised the throne to William, the Duke of Normandy. It seems that Edward changed his mind on his deathbed and named Harold as his successor instead. Furious about this turn of events, William was determined not to accept his loss quietly. So William marched with his army while Harold hurried back from the north. William's well-prepared forces ultimately won the battle, defeating Harold's army. The consequences of this battle were profound. As a Norman, William appointed French-speaking Normans to key positions in the kingdom, and the English language began to change significantly. Moreover, William introduced feudalism to England, centralizing power in the government and among the wealthy elite. If Harold had remained king, life might have been easier for the common people, without the sweeping changes brought by Norman rule. Number 3. The Battle of Waterloo. This was Napoleon Bonaparte's last battle. Known as a brave leader in history, Napoleon made a surprising return from exile in 1815, a bold move no one expected. He drew his last shot by fighting against the Duke of Wellington but was ultimately defeated. The battle took place at Waterloo and its impact was profound. The Battle of Waterloo ended Napoleon's empire forever. After his defeat, he surrendered to the British and was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the Atlantic. This battle brought a definitive end to France's attempts to dominate Europe under Napoleon. Number 4. The Battle of Arbella. The Battle of Arbella stands out for its consequential outcome, the assassination of Persian King Darius III, not by his adversaries but by one of his own provincial governors, Bessus. This battle occurred between the Persians, led by King Darius III, and the Macedonian army commanded by Alexander the Great. Alexander, undoubtedly one of history's most powerful and courageous kings, etched his name in the annals of history with this battle, marking a significant milestone in his conquests. Despite being vastly outnumbered, with the Persians boasting superior numbers and even war elephants in their ranks, Alexander achieved victory through strategic brilliance and military skill. His tactics compelled most of the Persian forces to flee, securing triumph for the Macedonians. As a consequence of this battle, Persia was divided into two parts, East and West Persia. Essentially, it marked the end of Persia and the emergence of Iran as we know it today. Number 5. The Battle of Yorktown. The Battle of Yorktown stands as a pivotal moment in the American Revolution, marking a significant milestone in the quest for independence. In 1780, over 5,000 French soldiers, led by Comte de Rochambeau, arrived to support the American troops besieged by British forces. Washington, with a master plan to combine forces with the French, set the stage for a decisive assault on the British. In 1781, Washington launched an attack on the British Army, commanded by General Charles Cornwallis at Yorktown. The eventual surrender of Cornwallis to the American forces marked a major victory in the Revolutionary War. This triumph paved the way for the end of the war entirely in 1783, following minor battles after Yorktown, ultimately securing independence for America. What if America had lost the Battle of Yorktown? Well, there would be no United States of America today, period. Number 6. The Battle of Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg is often heralded as the turning point of the Civil War, a conflict marked by its staggering casualties. Beginning on July 1, 1863, Confederate forces under General Robert E. Lee clashed with General George G. Meade's Union Army in Gettysburg. As the days wore on, the battle grew increasingly bloody, with both sides suffering heavy losses. By July 4th, Lee found himself compelled to withdraw his army, handing victory to the Union forces. Yet the toll was immense, with over 100,000 lives lost in one of the deadliest battles in Civil War history. Gettysburg stands as a somber reminder of the human cost of war and the sacrifices made in pursuit of victory. Number 7. The Battle of Okinawa. The Battle of Okinawa stands as an unforgettable event in the history of the Second World War. It all began on April 1, 1945, marking the commencement of the final chapter of the war. American troops, numbering nearly 1,800,000, descended upon Okinawa after successfully defeating Japanese forces in other regions. The battle dragged on for days until Japanese generals realized they couldn't win. Their decision to end their lives marked the surrender of Okinawa to the Americans. However, it wasn't all cheers and celebrations. American troops were exhausted, and facing off against over 2 million Japanese troops waiting on the mainland was daunting. That's when President Harry S. Truman made the tough call to drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, an act that would forever be remembered as a mass murder. Japan surrendered on August 14, 1945, following the devastating events of the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. With thousands dead and the country facing unimaginable destruction, surrender became the only viable option. However, the impact of those atomic bombs didn't end with the surrender. They continue to reverberate through history. Those battles reshaped history, leaving behind both positive and negative impacts. However, the loss of countless lives is a tragedy that cannot be undone. It's a sobering reminder of the devastating cost of war. What do you think about these battles? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Culture Emissary to stay updated with us. Thank you for watching.